This is component 2, a task book question 3. The graph shows the changes in the dry mass of seeds. So there's a dry mass after germination. So we've got germination going on there. So that means that they're starting to grow. The seed, if you imagine planting a seed, it gets wet and a new plant's going to grow from the seed. So that process there. The dry mass of the endosperm, embryo and seedling total are shown. Okay. Explain the relative changes in the dry mass of the embryo, seedling and endosperm. So dry mass, okay. Embryo, seedling, that's this one. So we're going to talk about that and the endosperm, which is this one here. We're going to talk about that. And we're wanting things relative to each other. So we're kind of going, why is this going up? And why is that going down? That's what your answer's really heading towards. And so we need what's in the endosperm to begin with. So in this seed, what's actually inside it and what happens to it, what does it get converted to, processes. So we're looking what's in it, processes that are going on, how are we losing things, gaining things, what's happening to this embryo, the baby plant as it were, to make it get heavier. So how does a plant get bigger and heavier? So 4 good points down there. And then a little bit of a bewildering experiment. Lots of stuff to read here. Things that you recognise. We are putting these in a dish with starch. Okay, kind of agar jelly that they use for microbiology. And we've got starch in there. And then we're going to test this after a while with iodine solution. So the bit of the core knowledge there that you need is that iodine solution goes from its initial kind of yellowy brown colour to blue black if there's starch there. And so presumably at the start it'll all be blue black, but then it says starch free area around the seed, so the starch is disappearing, it's not blue black anymore. Explain how the starch free area has been formed. Well, again we're going, right, well what's going on, what's come out of the seed, because the seed is there in the middle of the dish and then there's a kind of clear area around. What's that seed doing, what's it producing, and what's that substance actually doing to the starch in the agar? So again, what's been produced, what processes, what's going on. Part 2, suggest an explanation for the difference. This is kind of looking at experiments, interpreting stuff, so kind of AO2 stuff. The difference between these numbers here, so group B are higher than group A. Well, we've just talked about what's going on here, so we can say that, well, for one of these groups, more of it is happening. So tell us what the substance is again. Is there more stuff being produced or less stuff being produced with the embryo being there or not? And then finally, just for a single mark, the main food reserve is not the endosperm. Name the structures. So it's got a funny name. That's hard to say, and that's the answer there. So 9 marks, including some AO2 stuff, really interpreting or putting your knowledge into a new kind of situation.